That's really cool. I know it's a real hot spot, a hot spot for the Ruskies, Turkey.
Yes, it is.
And that's because of it was one of the few places you could go during the vacation, I believe during the communist era under Stalin.
Really?
And the like. Yeah.
Okay.
If I recall.
I also know that because I had a Russian girlfriend when I was over there.
Okay.
I know that she said that recently they made flights to Turkey extremely easy.
Yeah.
So easy that I believe that she said this. You didn't have to have a visa.
Yes, I think that's right.
Like you could just show your Russian citizenship,
your ID,
ID, and go to Turkey.
I think that's why it worked. Yeah.
And on top of it just being cheaper in Turkey than anywhere else in the Mediterranean.
Yes. But I think the visa was a serious, because I know that the people I was staying with once my folks left actually did that a few times.
Okay.
And it's relatively near.
Cheap flights. I don't know. I mean, I do know. Actually, I was in Istanbul. I remember the flight being to Moscow, something like 90 lira.
Which
I mean, it would be. No, I'm sorry, not 90 lira. 90 euros.
Euros. Okay.
90,
that's very
euros,
cheap.
One way.
That's very cheap.
Extremely.
Yeah, at its most, that's 300. Since our dollar no longer, yeah.
Between the euro and dollar?
Yeah.
Oh no. That's less. That's less than like $130.
Let's see. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. It's round trip. You could do it.
Is it just 1.5 now?
Oh, I thought when I left, I thought it was like 1.2 or 1.3.
Oh, really? I think things have changed. Our dollar sucks right now.
Okay.
Globally, I don't know. I just know it's not. Anyway.
I mean, 1.2, 1.3 euros to the dollar. I mean, maybe it's just 1-to-1 now.
If America were lucky, it'd be 1-to-1.
Okay.
I don't think we're that lucky. I think the value of our money has gone down quite a bit.
It has.
So I don't know. Did you meet any other Americans while you were over there?
Yes.
Did you come across them?
I was in a class, in my Turkish class, with I was in a Turkish class for 4 different classes. The first of which, Turkish 1, I was in that class with 2 other Americans.
Okay.
2 girls, one from New Orleans by way of Massachusetts.
That's funny. I love the detail.
Liberal college, like
Sure.
heaven right there.
Sure, yeah.
I forget where it was, but she was a wild stallion of a woman.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool girl, but just. I mean, the interesting thing about her was she was in Germany. That was where all of her interest and focus was.
Okay.
And she was doing like a post-grad research, paid research for a couple years in Berlin, speaking to poor people.
Okay.
Because, I mean, her being so poor herself, actually that's who she was talking with most of the time, so she took an interest to them.
Absolutely.
And poor people in Berlin, you meet quite a bit of Turks that way.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so she was like, well, I cannot talk to these poor Turkish German women.
Yeah.
Unless I speak Turkish, even though she speaks great German, fluent. These Turkish women were so kind of sequestered.
Sure.
That they never bothered to learn German.
Sure.
So she thought, I got to learn Turkish to speak about to know about their predicament here in Berlin.
Interesting.
And so she went down to Istanbul to learn Turkish for that reason.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So this was an international school type setting, or was it just an American?
So.
Was it
vast array? Like
I love that
Uzbekistan, Czech Republic, Korea,
awesome,
Philippines, America, awesome. Mexico, Spain, Hungary, Tatarstan. Do you know Tatarstan?
I don't.
It's in Russia.
I'm sure it is, but Russia's huge.
It's a province right there in south, kind of westernish Russia. I don't know, maybe kind of north of Kazakhstan.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was. I mean, my geography is very. I hold to that American stereotype. I know where nothing is in the world, but I also.
All right, America. You know Kazakhstan, right?
Right. You've been.
It's only the 7th largest country in the world. Of course, you would know where it is. And that Borat guy.
Right.
You're playing it in everybody's mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Tatars were a tribe of nomads that used to go back and forth across Central Asia.
All right.
And they horse riding, not necessarily swarthy folk, but
Sure.
certainly in the sun all the time.
Sure.
And the interesting thing about these Tartars is, I met a group of them because they, for Tartarstan people, their land of opportunity is Turkey.
Okay.
Because proximity-wise, that's the richest nation to them,
Okay.
the most influential nation.
Okay.
You also have Turkic-speaking people all throughout Central Asia, speaking
Sure.
varieties of Turkic languages.
Huh.
And for them to get ahead economically, there are many Turks in Tatarstan that have own businesses. And
Interesting.
petroleum.
What is regarding Turkey, what's the major export?
Textiles
Textiles, okay.
is huge. Also, they do a lot of engineering abroad, like civil engineering, building of industrial engineering, like the building of airports.
Okay. Okay.
The building of these giant infrastructure.
So we're talking about
buildings in
pretty
Europe.
generally high standard of education over here.
Over there?
Yeah.
Yes, especially in math and engineering
Gotcha.
and sciences, math
Sure,
and sciences.
yeah, the hard sciences.
I think I heard somewhere that, or at least my dad said that when he came over to America in Hall High,
Yeah.
back in 1973 or 4, whatever,
Uh-huh.
they were learning stuff that he had taken in Turkey maybe two years before,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
as a sophomore.
Interesting. Yeah.
So they're a couple years ahead in that regard.
Did you find at your school that the American, from my experience, the American stereotype really rings quite loudly in a smaller environment that is specifically international. So you're dealing with people who live and die by their perception of themselves in this other very foreign land, and they either amp it up. You had a lot of people out there who were, I'm American. I'm going to just exude Americanness, whatever I feel that is. That's neither here nor there specifically, but they would very much exude. Bam! I got the sparkly shoes. I got the sparkly. And they would try to become something.
Yes.
Did you find
It's almost as if they're wearing Essence de Uncle Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time, just slathering it on.
Exactly, and I think a lot of them feel the need to do that, to kind of retain for themselves a sense of familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
The same way any American restaurant or bar and grill that's abroad, from what I've seen, does just crazy, phenomenal business.
TGI.
But the food is usually pretty Yeah, TGI Fridays is actually...
Carry your own TGI Fridays abroad
Right,
with you.
right. They've got this. So I know that at the school, do you know the general population of your school, your international school?
I have a lot to let go of here.
Okay.
But taking primacy is a desired letting go of urine.
You should do it. You should do it.
I actually... Is this embarrassing?
Not for me.
Okay.
I've done this myself.
On camera.
Well, you'll have to look back for that. But
I am sorry. I'm
rock
very
it out.
sorry.
Rock it out.
Okay, I'll rock it out.
Yeah, do your thing. Do your thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can just go over here.
Sure. I wouldn't do it in the water, just because people drink out of that stuff. Well, maybe they don't, but I wouldn't pee in the water. It's interesting. I'm asking these questions. I'm sorry? Yeah, work that thing out. Yeah, watch out for the people. That's it. The American abroad, I think, is an interesting question. Some of you may find it a rather moot point. Who cares? I specifically mentioned the American abroad because that's what we are. We're American. There's no denying that. But for me, like I said, there are two tiers of thought regarding the American abroad. And one is perception, self-perception. And then the perception of others' perception of you. That is to say, you walk into a room. You're an American kid. Let's go with you're 15. Okay, you're an American kid. You're 15. You walk into a room full of a bunch of people who are natives to that land. You are the only Auslander you know. That is to say, outsider, foreigner. So you walk into this room, and immediately you realize that you're different than they are, and they also understand this of you. The big question that, from my own experience, comes to mind is, I basically go in there and I gauge how others are viewing me within their preconceived notions of what the American kid is. And I don't know if people differentiate between the American kid and the American young adult and so on and so forth, but it was always a toss-up when I hung out with my peers. What do I have to kind of live down? Do I have to make myself appear less American simply because the kids I'm with don't really like what they think Americans are? And so it kind of colors the way you meander through this world of people who are unlike you. Well, more specifically, you are unlike them. And so this is why it's an issue at all in my mind and in our conversation. Take it or leave it. At any rate, woo!